We're doing 3-3, and we're going to do notes on systems of inequalities. So let's write that in here. Your writing is going to be a lot better than mine. Systems of inequalities. See, look it glitches. It's not me, and it's not my pen. I talked to Miss Cowie about this, and she said it's the app. Look it, that spells the inequalities. Can you read that? No. Systems of inequalities. I don't know if I'm even going to be able to do this on here. All right, so here we go. We have two parts today. And the first part is that we're just going to remember and learn how to graph inequalities. This is not my fault. Graph inequalities. Isn't that bad? I know. All right, here's how you graph an inequality. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to graph the boundary line. The boundary line. Okay? Now, sometimes that line is going to be solid and sometimes it's going to be dashed. So if you get an inequality that is less than or greater than, you need to have, your line needs to be dashed. You've done this before and you're going to remember it. You're going to be like, oh, I remember doing this in Algebra 1. You did. If your inequality is less than or equal to or greater than or equal to, it's going to be a solid line. Solid. Okay? That's the first step. You draw your line in. Sometimes they're lines. We might do some absolute values. We might do other things. Then number 2, after you do that, you are going to have to shade a side. We're going to do some coloring. So fun. Shade a side. Okay, so let's do it. Here we go. Let's start with a super basic one. Number 1, we're going to graph y is less than 2x minus 3. Y is, so gross, less than 2x minus 3. It's really bad. It looks like a 3-year-old wrote this, huh? Okay, so go to your graph and let's first graph the line y equals 2x minus 3. But we're going to draw a dashed line because it's less than. It's kind of like, remember when we did like open circle, like graphing on a number line? It's kind of like the equivalent of an open circle. So go to -3. 1, 2, 3. -3. You're going to count up to and over 1 and draw a dashed line through that. Okay? And then you have to decide which side to shade. That's the hard part for people. You're really good at drawing lines now. You should be. But now we have to figure out which side we're going to shade. Now there's 2 ways to do this. One is, if it's solved for y, you can say y is less than this line. So then I would shade everything underneath of the line. I would shade all of this. Okay? Another way that you can do it is you can pick a point on either side. A lot of people like to choose the point 0, 0, and then they like to test it to see if it actually works. So if you test 0, 0, you get 0 is less than -3. Okay? That's not true. 0 is not less than -3. That's false. So do you see the side that 0, 0's on? It's on this side, which is false. It didn't work, so I would want to shade the other side. Okay, I don't like picking a point. I would rather just say y is less than the line, so there's above the line and less than the line. Yeah, that doesn't work all the time, so let me show you like number 2. Number 2. 4x plus 2y. 4x plus 2y is less than or equal to 4. X plus 2y is less than or equal to 4. Now this is not in slope-intercept form. This is in standard form. We can still graph the line, so let's graph it. Let's use the intercept method. Okay? So cover up the y. 4 times x equals 4. So what's x? X would be 1. Okay? Do it again. cover up the x now. 2 times y equals 4. So 2, good. So y would be 2. Dashed or solid? Solid, perfect. Ooh. Solid line. And now we have to decide which side to shade. It's a little harder here because sometimes it'll work and sometimes it won't with this y. So what you want to do when it's in standard form, just pick the point 0, 0 and plug it in. Plug in 0 for x and 0 for y. So you get 0 on one side. Is 0 less than or equal to 4? Yeah, sure it is. Okay, so it is less than or equal to 4. So 0, 0 works now, and I want to shade the side that 0, 0's on. There you go. This is easy, isn't it? Should we make this a little bit harder? Nah.
Yeah, you gotta add 2.
I am. That's not till the back side, though. All right, number 3. Let's do this one. X is greater than 3. X is greater than 3. Is it? Good. Do you remember what kind of a line x equals 3 is? You're right. It's a vertical line. Is this going to be dashed or solid? Dashed. Dashed line. And now this cuts our paper into 2 sides, to the left and to the right. We want to find numbers that are bigger than 3. Which way are we going to go? To the right. There you go. Beautiful. We're coloring today in math class. That's fun, right? Okay. Number 4. No. I'd rather be anywhere else right now. I'd rather be running the mile in PE. That sounds awful. Okay. Well, you know what I always say. I only run when someone's chasing me, right? All right. Y is less than the absolute value of x minus 2 plus 3. Ooh, we haven't done absolute value in a while. And you're like, wait a minute, this wasn't this chapter. You're right. And that brings the point up. That's what makes math so difficult, right? We require you to kind of learn some stuff and then build on it.
Yes.
In English, let's say you do Hamlet and you're like, this is dumb, I'm not going to pay attention, and you fail the Hamlet. Well, guess what? Then you move on to poetry or something else that's dumb. And then you can maybe do better, though, because it's not Hamlet anymore. But in here, we learn this stuff, and all of a sudden it's like, I expect you to know how to do that? Yes? Do you remember how? Do you remember how to do this?
To the right.
You were right. No, it's okay. You don't have to do it in any specific order. Yeah, we're going to go to the right 2. 1, 2, and up 3. 1, 2, 3. There's our vertex. Okay? And this is an absolute value, so it's a V shape. So we're going to go up 1 and over 1, and it's dashed. Don't forget to dash it. And then now we have to decide what we're going to shade it. Y is less than the absolute value. So there's above the absolute value and there's less than. So we need to shade all the stuff underneath of it. Beautiful. All right, let's do one more. One more. This one's a little tricky. Number 5. Negative y is greater than or equal to the absolute value of x plus 1. Sorry. It's bad. Negative y is greater than or equal to the absolute value of x plus 1. That's what that says. So we need y, though. We need to get rid of that negative 1. So we're going to divide both sides by negative 1. And if you remember, when you divide by a negative number, yes, you have to flip the sign. And then put the negative out front, and you have negative absolute value of x plus 1. What does a negative outside an absolute value do to it? It turns it negative. It's sad now, okay? So let's go, and we're going to graph this. We're going to go 1 to the left, But we're going to count this absolute value. We're going to go down 1 and over 1 in each direction. And this one's a solid line. Okay. And now let's, y is less than. Yep, so now we got to go ahead and shade everything below it. So you get this little region in here. Beautiful. I like graphing on the iPad, do you? Nope. Okay, now let's go to the next page. The next page. How do I get to the next page? What? This one? Shoot, no, it was like the other page of it. No, but there's 2 pages. Where's my other page? And we're back. Okay. Let's go ahead and just erase everything and we'll start over. Is this how you do it? Will it bother you if I leave some remnants? Can I use my finger? How's that? That looks really good. Okay.
Oh my God.
Oh. What about like the whole thing?
Can you make the eraser size bigger?
Yeah, can I?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are so smart when it comes to technology. What? Yeah, it's fun. You can watch it later if you want, if you miss. Like, let's say I'm absent, and then you're like, oh, I really miss her. Okay. Oh, it's some stuff still there. Does that bother you?
Yeah.
You guys are so picky. Okay, there we go. All right, we're ready. Sorry. All right, we're ready. You can fast forward. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and what we're going to do now is part B, and we have some systems to do. So, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do 2 graphs in one. So every problem's twice as long. Okay. Here we go. Number 6. And we're looking for overlaps here. Okay? Overlaps. So we're going to graph one of them. And then we're going to graph the other. And we're going to find out where they overlap. Yeah. So here we go. Let's say we have a system. X minus 2y is less than 6. And y is less than or equal to, bless you, negative 3/2 x plus 5. Okay. All right. So we've got 2 graphs to do. And let's just start by doing one, doing the other, and then finding out where they overlap. Let's graph the first one, yeah. So let's graph using the intercept method. X would equal what if we covered up the y part? 6. Is that 6? So not really. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6. Okay. Now let's cover up the x, and what would y be? Negative 3. Good. And this is a dashed line. Be careful. Dashed line. And then I would just, on this one, because it's in standard form, I would choose the point 0, 0 and test it. And I get that 0 is less than 6, which is true. So I would go to here, and I would shade all of this. Do you? That's so cute. All right. Now, let's go back to here. And let's graph the other one. So let's go to 5 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5's your y-intercept. And let's count down 3. 1, 2, 3, over 2. This time we have a solid line. Okay. And now we want to see where are we going to shade this. Y is less than that line. So we want to shade all the stuff that's less than. Now, do you see their overlap? Their overlap is in here. It's the green area, yeah. And that would be your answer to the system. Did I do it right? Sometimes I'm wrong. Sometimes. Okay, let's do another one. Another one. Number 7. Let's do, we have 2 more. 2 more, we're almost done. Y is less than or equal to 3. and y is greater than or equal to the absolute value of x minus 1. Okay, so we're going to graph both of those. All right. So graph y is less than or equal to 3 first. What kind of a line is that?
It's a solid straight.
Solid, straight, horizontal line. Perfect. So go to 3, 1, 2, 3, draw your line. Whoa, that is so straight. Look at that. I just freehanded that. That was really good. Finally. Y is less than or equal to 3. So that would be down here. Okay. Now let's graph y is greater than or equal to the absolute value of x minus 1. So we're going to go 1 to the right, and we're going to count up 1 and over 1 and draw an absolute value graph. Solid line again. Okay. And then this says that we have to shade y is greater than, so above. So that would be all of this stuff. And I see where they overlap, do you?
Yep.
This little triangular region in here.
Wait, oh,
Oh, that's so good. I swear, if I wasn't being recorded right now, I would tell you what to do. Okay, number 8. You're like, whatever. Number 8, last one. There. Okay, you try this one all by your little selves. Y is less than x plus 3, and y is greater than the absolute value of x minus 2 plus 1. You try this. You guys aren't bad. All right, so here we go. Y is less than x plus 3, so go to 3, up 1, over 1. It's a dashed line. Did you remember to dash it?
yes.
Yes. Someone groaned. No. Y is less than. All right, less than this way. Okay. Now I'm going to do the other one. I'm going to go 2 to the right and 1 up. And it's up 1 over 1. And it's also dashed. That's so good. Look how bad that is. Okay. And then we shade y is greater than, so it'd be all above it. And then you can see it's just this little part in here. That's the answer.
Are we going to show you, like, where they...
Yeah, darken it, just like you did on your paper right there. That's perfect. Yeah, you don't have to. Nope. Oh, wait.